Where are you going? Hi, hey everybody. I do seem to have found everybody. I do not know how I have ended up on live stream since I've been trying to do this for an hour. And here we go. All right. Well, that's fun. Okay. All righty. Hey, toss me a fireball from under there, will you? How about get me a fireball from under there while I kind of. Hey, guys. Yeah, that's him swearing in the background. He loves helping me. I know I say that all the time, but I'm afraid to actually move anything because I've been having this trouble for days. And yesterday he walked in here and had it straight up. And I'm praying we don't do anything to end that. So maybe we can now see this. Are we up? Yep, maybe. It sounds like it. We are up. Don't worry, he's always that rude. He just pretends he's not. Sorry. I have to redo everything now because I had 3 set up so that I could get this done. Because I couldn't figure out what in the world was causing the problem. And I see I'm still a little bit loud, a little bit louder now. And uh, not prepared to actually go live. We'll see. It may stay up for me. It might not. I do not know. I'm disheveled. I'm a mess. I was yelling and pounding on my computers because it never did this to me before. And now suddenly every day when I come on, I spend 2 hours trying to get in, which makes me 2 hours late to everything else I'm doing. What he was yelling about was me asking him for another fireball because I swear I've had about a rough day. Huh. Oh, yeah. This is why it's called Lady Hippy at the Bar. Obviously, I'm a stone cold mess. And I'm a lady hippie. I'd like to think so. Army veteran, writer, published, wife going to kill husband. Um, oh, because I know I won't find time to redo this because I don't know why it's doing it. One time it'll tell me that it's got the wrong stream, put a different stream in the encoder. Once you get to the encoder, if you try to change it, it tells you all kinds of stuff like, don't do that. It's like red lights start flashing. And yeah, it's kind of weird. And if you'll excuse me one more second, I'm going to change this because I can't stand hearing somebody else talking in the background, meaning he's not here and I can do, oh yeah, what I want. So we'll just put some of that back there. Again, pardon me. I'm going to have to get past the commercials. There we go. Yes, I think I can hear it, but hopefully you probably can't. You can see the TV behind me, though. So, okay. If you see this, if you're one of my returning babes, if you're family, if you're a friend, hit the like. They somehow like that shit. No, it's not for kids. So now is the time for you to remove the children. I'm sorry, this was so fast that I didn't even get a chance to. I wear these silly headbands because otherwise it falls down my face. You could subscribe. It takes 10 seconds. It's free. I don't make any money at this. Don't ask why. I haven't tried to. I am not averse to that, but I haven't made any. It's nice having your own bar at home. It does irk him just a wee bit that I'm usually the one that's at the bar. I see him a little pale. Hold up. And no, ladies, I don't have any makeup tips. The only tip I have for you ladies is, they say the camera adds 10 pounds. They lie like a no-legged dog. This shit adds at least 20. Doesn't help if you're completely incapacitated for 10 months like I was. I've just come back and I have new equipment, but the parts of the old equipment were fine. And so I went ahead and said, okay, I won't need this equipment. I have other equipment, but it's only made for um, just interviewing people. It won't do the rest that I needed. And my soundboard is halfway working, and that's been the problem, I think. So I was trying to figure out where I stuck everything that was new, and whatever was used, I stuck somewhere. And of course, I can't find that shit. So the other thing I was going to tell everybody, it is, I think I told you, for entertainment purposes only, this shit might cut off at 20 something minutes. It did yesterday. So even when I can go live, it'll just stop. And I get so pissed I don't try again. Hence the other reason I asked him to please grab me another fireball. He grabs these for me. This is a whiskey fireball. And so you get this kick of cinnamon right behind the fireball. And either way, it's a real hoot. When I was growing up, my mother, all the women when I was growing up, we were adopted by people who were much older, and World War IIers. My father was at Pearl Harbor, my adopted father. And in any event, the women would faint. I have never been able to faint my entire life. I'm so tried. It's what, you know, it didn't mean they could tell mom, that there was a telegram at the door. Mom was out dead to do with that. And she wouldn't come around. She'd just lay there. They had to put one of those ampules of ammonia, up under her nose. She's starting to come back. Then you would have to go run and get what they called a stiffener for the ladies. So here she's been passed out. So you go get your good hooch. Hey, you give her a nice shot of that, which she sips and is extremely pleasant for the next 2 hours. I think it was a bit of, play acting. Can't say that for sure. They might have passed out. I don't know. Um, I think I touched upon the fact that it's made you shut off. If it does, you saw me, said so. Hit please, hit the like, hit the dislike, hit I don't give a shit, okay? They just are bugging me stupid. And they didn't like it that I took 10 months off. And there's only so much you can do when your leg you can't move. I broke it 3 places, ankle nearly disconnected from my leg. They had to do all kinds of surgeries and metal and nails, I swear to God. The nail is like this long. I have 2 bones. Everybody has 2 bones in their leg, tibia and fibula. Well, both were broken. Like this. See, this one would be the one in the front. It'd be broken right here. And the one in the back, fibula, was broken way up here. So what they did is they pounded this screwed, I don't know, but they put this damn nail in there. And then they put in L brackets on either side of the ankle. And they pulled them together and attached them to the bone at the bottom of the ankle. And they had to use 8 screws on each one. And it took a month before I could get the surgery because we had, lovely Hurricane Helene hit the day of the surgery. We actually made it to the hospital. We're not very far. Nobody else did except the people who were already there, and they couldn't get out. Bless her heart. And so we had to get back at the same time. This is when the tornadoes are spinning off that were right at bad timing. So my husband is amazing. He made it back. He's a commercial. Well, he was. He doesn't do that now. But he was a commercial driver all of his life, basically. When he wasn't being a mechanic, he would switch. Being a mechanic and stuff. And so was being a truck driver. I went with him on many a time. Had a blast. But then we were nearly together, nearly married. We both had good incomes. And so every time my mom would get tired, that'd be me. And it's like, oh, look, there's a hotel. Here we go on here. And so I got souvenirs from everywhere that I went. I'd always done that when I was in the military, Europe and all that. I got souvenirs. And so I just don't want to keep collecting these things. At this point, our kids were granted, heading towards marriage and kids. And so I was like, okay, I just collect shot glasses. I don't want shot glasses. Here's one. What's this one? Oh, the Metro Golden Meyer. I don't know if you can see it. If I can see it still. And of course, I tried to pair it with my lovely stemware that my husband got me. There's only two of those. My daughter, my stepdaughter, she makes lovely vase. And I love the roses. They're beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? And well, you can't really see. There's the table behind me. I have a lot of flowers. I just had a birthday and anniversary. Birthday I tell you about, but it's stamp state secret. So what can I say? I can say a lot. That's why I'm up here. It is a gift for entertainment purposes only. Even if you don't like it, just show you watched it for 10 seconds. Give a woman a break. I'm old, don't like I said, make no money doing this, but I am not averse to making money with this. I love this medium. Now, the 10 months that I was down, I had already started podcasting. I had been on since 2024 in January. And of course, then here I am. I just could not try to get all that together, too. I mean, I had a refrigerator, a microwave. They have to leave the bed for much. They do not treat pain. They do not treat pain. They tell you to take extra strength Tylenol. And I'm thinking, how fast can I get on this guy's face? They frown on shit like that. But I also take another specific medication for seizures. And that, believe it or not, because it blocks seizures, it also helped to block the pain receptors. So I managed to get out of the entire thing. It took 10 months before I could actually stand. It's been a little over 2 months that I've been taking therapy, and I can now walk without a device. So I'm a happy bitch. I didn't think I'd get this far. Of course, I won't never get back 100%, but at my age, I was just happy to get on my feet. And so I'm back, and that should give you a little background if you don't know me. I love talking about ghosts. I love talking about history. I love talking about just about anything. The Bible, anything. It just doesn't matter. I know they've named them something else now, but I'm old school, so they're still UFOs to me. If you can't freaking tell what the hell you're looking at and it's in the sky, it's an unidentified fucking flying object. I don't care what they want to call it. It was stupid to change it anyway. Oh, I just loved it when Trump renamed the Gulf of America. I loved it. I fell out laughing. And it was so funny. Hillary's, I call her Hillary, but people apparently aren't supposed to talk about the Clintons much. They disappear or something happens to them. In any event, I heard her. Well, I saw her. They were at the funeral or something, and they were saying, "Oh yes, he's changed it from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America." And her husband's going, "Honey, honey," and she was like, "I would have paid good money to have been where I could see her when she found out they elected the Giggle Girl as vice president." I would have given money to see that all that time. I would have given good money to see her face when Trump won that first time. And they took a 4-star general out, folks. If they could take a 4-star general out, you don't have a chance. You talk about you can't win against City Hall, my ass. You can't win against nothing. This is not a free country. Think about it. I give you time. We got plenty of time unless they cut me off, but then you won't mind. I have no idea how I got up here today. My husband allows me to have these. They're little cigarillos. I used to love them when I was in Europe. And I don't buy them myself because if I did, I'd start smoking again. I had to give up smoking. Yes, this is smoking. But it's not as bad as it could be. And so I have a few of I used to have just the one. But I was irritated when I first got back on because I don't know how I did. You were just there. So I apologize again because I'm a mess. But technically at my age, it should be expected. If you do see me, please hit share, like, they really want this stuff, so I keep coming back to it. Trump again. I'm enjoying what he's getting done. Uh, I don't know. I just heard that they were stopping him again uh, to stop something else. I don't know who these judges think they are, but he's the executive in charge of like hmm, everything. Google it; it'll tell you. He doesn't need their damn permission. It's like Bush when he said, "I'm going to war," and Congress said, "No, you're not." He went to fucking war anyway. That's why I did was show him throwing shoes and shit at him. The first term for I call him Donnie. I loved him on the podcast. This guy's got a great sense of humor. You just like a dry wet, but he's got a great sense of humor. See, I'm looking like my hair is escaping, which of course bugs me. Just forgive me today. How about that? We'll just go on. We'll just go on with well, she made it. I have so much left to do today. I have tons to do. And I have a tendency to be talking about one thing and instantly talk about something else. Hence the reason the channel says I'm a fidgeter. Um, the channel is Lady Hippy at the Bar. When my husband survived stage 4 throat cancer, he continued to work afterwards, but I let him, if he, once the bills were paid, whatever he made extra, and he would do, he still does now, that's where he went. He would do repair work. He's a major mechanic, ace mechanic, and he's not one of those that say it's 450 to change your brake pads. It's you go up there, you get your brake pads, you bring them back to me, and it's $50 to do the front two or whatever it is. And so he wherever he goes, he'll have a burgeoning business, and that's what he's doing right now. Since the hurricane and tornadoes came through, we had a forest to our side, and we had a forest to our back. We're the corner house on the cul-de-sac. We were lucky. We had glass tables and chairs out in the patio on the back, on the front porch as well. But he had parked our new RV, which is like a wonder lodge. It's huge. He had parked it beside the house, and he had parked the pullabout. We have two, the ones pulled, and so he had parked them next to the house so he could cut the grass that day before the storms came. We ordered food and things for the cats and stuff like that. We thought we were so smart, and we were doing things already on Walmart Plus because I got injured a few days after Labor Day, and the hurricane hit. I think around the 15th of September. It was after Labor Day. So we thought we were good to go. I didn't take down plants. I didn't move any chairs. All of that we would have taken and stored. We have two storage buildings. One looks like a red barn with a little white trim. I love that one. Cost us a bit, but I like that one. The other one's, it looks almost like siding, but it's kind of plastic and it's smaller. But it's where we keep all the Christmas things and stuff in. These things took out all of the trees that were next to us, took out three trees in the backyard that was cleared, took out the fencing, all of the back fencing, the front and side fencing. This side is all the fencing that didn't touch. And yet, none of those, the three in our yard, hit anyone else's, and none of them hit us. The house. It took out my greenhouse that Robert had built special for me, and that broke my heart. But we were able to save quite a few. Uh, it was amazing. I mean, the table and chairs in the backyard, which were at least one of the tornadoes came through. It didn't even take the cover off of the grill. It was amazing. It didn't get our house. It did take, like I said, the greenhouse. That can be, and we were just also grateful it didn't hurt any of our neighbors. Although our neighbors' trees did hit them. So both our neighbors had to have people come in and pull them out and do roofing and siding and so forth. We had a few panels of siding damaged, and on one side of the house where the internet things come through, it had ripped all of those wires out. But we have a big boat, and the wires caught on the boat. And so instead of it pulling that wall out, it pulled the boat over. So, and we were just very, very, very fortunate. The forest behind us is gone. It's just gone. There's maybe 6 or 8 trees. I never even knew I had neighbors. I couldn't see them. I can see all of it. Yeah, it's unnerving. It really is. Um, I like my privacy. I had never stayed at any place as long as I have this home. We've been here 14 years now, and that's not some either of us. We've always been relocators, as I call it, between this, that, and the other, and jobs and so forth. Where you just have to. And I had to. He made me learn to drive at 35 too, because I'd always take mass transit, because I always had big cities, DC, so forth. And I came down here. I was like, it's 4 hours to Taco Bell. I was visiting for San Antonio. His real family, the birth family, had looked me up. The real sister and I were adopted together. She wanted to go. I didn't want to, had to, because I'm the big sister. And that's where I met my husband, took him back to Texas, and about 4 years later, finally married him. Long story. Had a great wedding. There wasn't a damn relation inside. we, we cleaned up too. We thought, well, we'll just go here. We decided just to go to Corpus Christi. We were in San Antonio, and we both had state jobs. Mine was civil service. He worked for Bill. And so here we go. We take off, and here comes the hurricane. So we couldn't do that anymore. We turn around and come back. But we did have a great time. We really did. We had rented the party room and everything that overlooked the pool. And so they were throwing women off there in their dresses. I told them if they'd even touch me or thought about it, I'd shoot them. And they knew I was armed. I think Donnie's doing good. I get a kick out of him. I really do. You talking about no filters. That man has no filters. He's been one of the best presidents the second time around. I pray to God they don't shoot him again. Yeah. The last thing I saw was a clip from Joy Reid. What a racist broad this is. Her up there with that white supremacy shit. She doesn't think that's racist. I got news for you, bitch. White is a color. Get a box of crayons. You're going to find white all up in that bitch. Knock it the fuck off. You're a racist pig. You can't do anything else on your podcast. Shut it the hell down. We're all tired of hearing your crap. You're a racist bitch. I'm not afraid to say so. I'm bored. Bring the black helicopters. Come on. I've always wanted to meet Zuckerberg anyway. Yeah. They've taken down posts of mine. They've done all that stuff. I don't care. I'm kind of like Tommy Robinson in that respect. At what point do you sit back and go, you let how many fucking illegals in here? I gotta have a measles shot, but this bitch is fine. Bring it on. 20 some odd million bitches you brought in here. You gave them phones, hotel rooms, money, food, clothes. What the hell did you do for the veteran and his dog on the street? I know I passed him. Until finally we found some help. What? You don't do shit. I happen to know because I'm also an Army veteran. It just kind of happens to be that way. I love the Medicare ones. They will go on for 25 minutes if you don't shut them the hell up. I have no idea what's playing and don't care at this point. So yeah, I'm real pissed about all that. Now, I knew when I was growing up, my father went, I hate Roosevelt. I hate Roosevelt. I couldn't figure out why he hated Roosevelt. I mean, he apparently, to us anyway, as students of history, we were, this man he was elected 4 times. So it seemed like he was a pretty good guy. It wasn't until I got older and went to work. When I was, I think, 14. And I was like, who the hell is FICA and why the hell are they getting my money? And of course, his answer was, I told you you'd figure it out when you got older. Taxes go up, and they go up, and they go up. And they know that people on Social Security are on a fixed income. They don't go, well, shit, bread went from 159 to 430. Now we bring in this some more money. No, babies, that ain't how it works. For those of you who are under 65, and I understand they're moving at the 72, so you'll probably be dead and won't get it anyway. But they tell you how much you're going to get back. They decide how much your entire working life and all the money they took from you will get back per month. When the cost of living is raised, when everybody else starts making 15 bucks to say, do you want fucking fries with that? Are you going to get more money? Oh, fuck, hell no. Yes, this is why kids can't watch. Oh, I forgot to turn live chat on because I didn't know I could not get live. No matter what I did, I couldn't get live. I think my husband, even though he's a bit of a pain in the ass, well, actually, he's a large pain in the ass, which he won't watch this. I ask all my relatives, but I really don't have any. I have a son, I have a grandson, and I have a granddaughter, and I have a daughter in law. I have a stepdaughter who doesn't really speak to me. She never really was good with me. When she came to me at the age of 12, all she had was horror clothes. And I mean, literally, I wouldn't let her go to school in India, but I had to take her shopping, which she was a little upset about. So, you have to have some decorum. I don't care. What you do when you're 18, 19, that's up to you. But when you're in my house and you're in eighth grade, you're going to fucking wear what I approve. That's the way it was when I was raised. And I give her credit. Every once in a while, when I do see her and my grandchildren, step grandchildren, have all grown up to be great. But whenever I do see her, she'll say things like, well, she taught me how to clean. And I mean, she cleaned. There wasn't nothing dirty. It's like, I remember when she was young enough to be told, hey, throw the dishes in while I do the laundry because I have to be at work 2 hours early tomorrow. And she'd go, I'm done with dishes, and off to her room she'd go. And I'd go, oh my God. The counters aren't done, the sinks aren't clean. The dishes are in the dishwasher, but the whole kitchen was a mess. You got to clean all of that. And if you call them back in to have that done, they were just, it was just like, screw that. I will do this shit myself rather than bother with it. And there were just little things that she said. I said, well, at least I got through it some ways. May not have been great, but okay. My son lives one exit from me. He and his wife both are at the base, very high clearances. I see that I call it high holidays, like I do being a Catholic when I was young. They kept throwing me out. This is another story. See why I write books. And I have people all the time. You should write about that. No shit. Who's got time? The other thing I'll go with one thing at a time. He's an exit for me, and it's not everybody loves Raymond. I think they deserve their downtime, so I only go when they know I'm coming, like Labor Day kind of thing, or birthdays kind of thing, which we just did. Oh, I should have brought it out. He bought me a rose that was it was it was fossilized or something in something. However, they saved it, and then they dumped it in liquid gold. And there's a bus and all that for it. It is the most amazing thing. He buys me the most wonderful things, like roses with butterflies, and it has a light you turn on. It's just wonderful, just like those. And he knows his mom very well. So I have that. Our stepdaughter, my husband's daughter, lives down below Macon and Warner Robins, the Air Force Base there. I used to work there. Um, so she's by the base, but she's a nurse now, so she's doing very well. And so is my son. So we're happy with all that. You will see cats come by. They like to photobomb me. I'm never sure why. I see them at almost 30 minutes, and again, I don't know why I'm here. If I suddenly disappear, hit the damn like. At least say, God, that was funny. She had no control at all. I don't pick a particular subject to speak about unless somebody asks me to. Again, I put it in live chat. You can hit a comment. I can chat. I got all these things going over here. I can chat back to you. I would love to talk about all kinds of stuff. It wouldn't matter to me what kind of stuff. Anything and everything is on the table. Near-death experiences, NDEs, it's amazing, amazing subject. Reincarnation. Another amazing subject. I like using stuff from Edgar Casey when I talk about that. Mr. Edgar Casey is something else. Another one I'd like to recommend. Hey guys, I like Joe Rogan. I wasn't happy with the way he treated Douglas Murray. Douglas Murray is a prolific author and journalist who's been on the front lines with the IDF in Israel, and he's done this for at least I think 20 years. Good looking young men. If you guys are single out there, you girls, look him up. If not, if you just want to learn something or what have you, look up Douglas Murray. Watch him speak a little bit, and then check out his books. The other one I like, and I'm not sure if I get his title right. I don't know if it's doctor or professor, but I call him Professor Victor Davis Hanson, a very humble man who's written 20 odd books. And if you want to know something about a war, be it Iraq, be it the Peloponnesians, this man has either wrote a book about it or can talk to you forever about it. He's an amazing man. He's 71, which it scares me because he's a treasure. He's really a national treasure. I think Douglas Murray is as well. Douglas Murray was born in Britain. I think he was born in Bristol or London, but I mean he was born British, and he's got American citizenship now. He stays in America, I believe in New York. I believe for now. I don't know how long that will be. Personally, I don't know how long anybody will be able to stay in New York. I ain't ever seen the shit. And I went to my local Walmart. It was last week because they said I couldn't get around for a while, and so I just have it delivered. And I was shocked when I went in there. They had redone it, and just recently, and you had to get someone to come to you with the keys to open it to get what was that giving? I think it was like, oh yeah, eyeshadow. I was buying a thing of eyeshadow and a thing of mascara, and they had to come and open the glass and open. Oh my God! I mean, when are people going to get pissed about this? Do we need to make up our militias again by ourselves, or are they going to put the police back doing the jobs that they are good at doing? And I got news for everybody. If I see somebody trying to hurt an officer, be it ICE, police, sheriff, I'm in. I'm there. You're going to have to fight me too. I'm a feisty old broad. I don't fight fair. I get a rock and beat yourself to death with it and be slamming you in the concrete. No. You see someone, you see an officer in distress, get your ass in gear. That's what they're there for, is for us. And if there's something happening to them while they're trying to help us, you better get your ass out there and help them. Because God help you if you don't. There's this thing here called good, and there's the other thing called evil. Now, what was perpetrated on October the 7th, besides being an open-ended declaration of war, in which, by the way, the Gazan civilians, the Palestinians, that are refugees, jumped their asses right through that fucking fence, too. And this shit was so bad, even though it was filmed with GoPros, that Israel hasn't released all of it because they don't want to harm people from seeing it. Now, if you tell me a baby was burned alive, I'm looking for you. If I was 20, I'd be back out there with my weapon looking for you. And I'd make sure your death took a long fucking time. They talked about babies beheaded, men being beheaded by shovels, for fuck's sake. And you stupid sons of bitches on these colleges and universities have the absolute unmitigated gall to step out there and bitch. I don't think so. I asked to begin with, where are your parents? Where are your instructors? Hell, they were going to jail with you. My son is 46. My grandson's 26. Army veteran. Said he wanted to walk in grandma's boots. I said, I was the first company to enlist that was with regular Army. When I enlisted, I was a WAC. When I landed, got off the plane, I was at Fort Jackson, regular Army. And I had chevrons. So Watch Private Benjamin. It's pretty close to what happened. We had Vietnam Airborne Rangers for drill sergeants. And he said, well, first of all, you need to understand, I used to jump out of helicopters and kill people. I'd been up for 3 days, thought it was hysterically funny. So I'm fucked up at the get go, right? And he's going, who are you? Oh, I see. Uh, you're Bullock, right? Now, it's not you. Uh-huh. He said, you're wicked. Now, that's your new name. You don't even have a freaking sheet. You're from Chicago. It's time to toughen your ass up. I was like, oh, God, I'm fucked. I was like, I'll bend, motherfucker, but I ain't breaking. Good luck with that. Mind you, it was close. I think they took pity us in some ways. You can't outmarch a woman. It's like dancing. Can't do it. You can't out clean a woman. Just can't do it. Men just don't have, I don't know what it is. It's not a disparaging thing I'm saying. It's a fact. And so we had all these win, things like that. And yet I broke my leg. I'm good at this. I broke my knee on the last day of fire maneuvers to graduate from boot camp. You talk about just despaired. I had cut my finger near the bone. I mean, through to the bone, getting ammo, and I had to get the machine nest out to get to the next area and get them to meet, the ammo they needed, and I managed it. But this is at night, and they didn't give back then. It's called a law. You could have this thing like a rocket launcher, and you could kind of see. We didn't have night vision. That was it. And suddenly I couldn't get up. And I took out the nest. I didn't shoot my buddy who jumped at the wrong time, right in. It's amazing she didn't die. We had live ammo. And so I'm trying to get up. I just got to get up, And finally I make it. And I got to go about 100 yards to drop the ammo to those who sent for it. And finally I just couldn't walk. I said, get this up there. Get it to them. We were buddies. So that's how it is. She got it to them, and I'm trying to. Finally, she gets back, and I'm like, I can't stand up, and I'm freaked. And I used my weapon in a way you do not do it back then. You don't put your weapon on the ground. And I'm using it to try to lever myself up. And my CEO saw that something was badly wrong, and he came running up, and the XO behind him. I'm like, I'm fucked. I really did want to get out of boot camp. It's just hard. So, at this point, the leg had swollen so that we had the old green fatigues back from like MASH. And already the leg had swollen so that the leg was really tight with those. And there's no way that comes natural. So he carried me all the way to the field Red Cross, who immediately said, you got to get her to the hospital. And they're cutting stuff off. And I'm like, what the hell? And all I'm thinking is I failed. And I'm trying to process that. And they couldn't get me into anything because the leg had to stay straight. They had immobilized it. They didn't at that point know it was wrong. They finally got me in this huge truck with my leg out the window. He carried me inside there at the VA, at the ER. And this in Columbia, South Carolina. And he used his parade ground voice. I need help yesterday. Move it. And I mean, 300 people showed up. But God love him. He would not even set me down. They had to bring a gurney and all that. And then he set me down the gurney and helped me lay down, put blankets up, and said, I'm going to wait right here. He was a great guy. Turned out later, I saw a picture on his desk he had of his wife. I looked just like her. My hair was shorter. But, I looked exactly like her, like we were twins. It was wicked. Turned out I had fractured the kneecap. No big deal. And I was going to graduate because I had taken out the machine gun nest and not killed my buddy. They had seen this. I didn't know that. And what they did, and they said, you get on the truck here, the A truck, so they'll bring you out. I'm like, I'm not getting on the fucking crippled truck. I'll be there in a little bit. You know, I survived this shit to get on the crippled truck. Yeah, how'd you want? And they took pity on me. They did. They were great. I started out in the second or third row of the women, uh, the, our company, and they would just stop me, let go of me, and I purchased their. I don't have my crutches. They took those. The CEOs got them, and then the next row would pick me up and take me so far. So, under my arms, and they did this all the way to the area. I think it was about 2.5 miles. And then my CO he picked me up and carried me up the bleachers. It was wicked, and it was weird because I was one of the few that didn't have anybody there on graduation day. So he came back, got me down, and got me back to the barracks, and so it was great. It was different, but right after that, women could become fighter pilots. They could become firefighters. They could become anything they wanted. And when I went in, when I enlisted, it was still the WAC Corps, and all you could do was nursing and secretary. And now look at them go. I still kick that door down, broken leg or not. Yeah, you can tell I've had a drink. look at Private Benjamin though, if you haven't ever seen it, and you're in for a good, kind of romance comedy. It's a little romance in there, but most of it's pretty good. So that's me, kind of in a nutshell. From Chicago, um, Army trained, karate trained. I'm 5'2" with green eyes and red hair. What do you think? From Chicago, like I didn't get trained. Are you stupid? And no, I didn't fight fair. And yes, I carried a switchblade all through high school. That's another story too. I hear Rod Stewart and Amy at the back. Well, I hate to leave because it's been for. I don't think I even got a show put up. I think maybe for 20 minutes. And you will see, like I said, I jump from topic to topic and end up talking about myself because I don't get it. If I don't have a line of treatment, I don't know what you want. But I think you should be up here. And I will be, as long as I can find my way through. And hopefully I'll find my new equipment laying around somewhere. In the meantime, I'm still here now. We got about 18 minutes. If it cuts off, we know, hey, did it to her again. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I ain't figured that shit out. Honey, when I started typing, they were manuals. And we were taught how to type on a manual without looking at the keys. There was a chart on the blackboard ahead of us. That was it. You had to do 60 words a minute with 0 errors in a minute. And that's how you got to the next class. When I first went in the Army, I saw regular typewriters. They weren't. They were electric. I was, oh my God. We didn't have Xerox, baby. You had to type up this thing that looked blue, but it printed white. And you would strap it onto the cylinder thing and pour the ink in, and you just keep winding, and it would make you some more. I'm an old bitch. I've seen a lot. And somebody has tried to tear down America for 18 years. Maybe more than that. We have a president now that's doing something. I loved it when he said he was going to paint them, and he has to paint the wall black. Because that shit gets hot. His idea. That's totally his idea. I loved it. I was like, it sure is not. I can't touch my steering wheel. Can you imagine trying to climb that bitch? You ain't going to do that shit. And it would hold the heat. It would hold the heat so that even at night, you could probably do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Because while you're doing that, this guy's sitting there going, look, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9. They're bored. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, in the military, if we're supposed to guard something like a border, that bitch be guarded. Don't try it. That's my advice. If you know the military is there, don't fuck it up. They don't play. In the military, you take orders and you follow orders. It's just a snap of a finger. That's not the police going, oh, we'll be all right. It's not ICE going, oh, okay, well, you come back to this court. No, no, no. No. If you put the National Guard up there and you got them locked and loaded, and you did in D.C., he armed them. Love this guy. I love Donnie. I do. I love Donnie. What's the point of having National Guard up there if they have just pepper spray and rubber? Arm those babies and tell them shoot for the knees. We want to try them. I would never send my troops out to any city in the United States, and they're all bad right now without weapons that carried real live ammo. So they're hot people. And did you notice crime? Like, oh yeah, it stopped. Chicago's going, no, you ain't gonna do that. That's the other thing I couldn't get over was the Pope is from freaking Chicago, Illinois. My whole world did a total flip, which it does that often. Depends on what I'm taking. I have like 14 meds. But it just flipped that bitch. Gotta love it. They last year when I got hurt so badly, I was watching more of the things on YouTube and so forth. And I said, you know, our country's going. And there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. No. Have you watched what the United Kingdom is finally getting to deal with? The same thing we are. And I believe they started earlier. And the people are finally getting out there going, no, you can't put them in a hotel. You have 15 right here that don't have a place to live. But because they're American or they're British or they're Scottish, what have you, we're not helping them. No, we're taking care of these guys that are coming across the border with nothing. No shot records, no nothing. 300,000 kids are missing. 300,000 kids are fucking missing. I'd be taking names by now. I would. Oh, do you watch this many? Where? You don't know? Uh-huh. I've also gotten a kick out of. I love these. Now there's a new one in Louisiana, but I had already taken to call in the one in Florida. Gator Gitmo. I know they called it alligator, alley maybe, but for me it was Gator Gitmo. And now they got a new one in Louisiana, so I'm calling it Gator Gitmo too. These people had plenty of time to self-deport. Give me $1,000, I'll move to Italy. I mean, plenty of time to deport and get the money when they landed. And mind you, if you're in El Salvador, somebody hands you $1,000, you can buy a mansion for that. Have you seen these poor people? They don't come here because it's a poor country. They don't come here because they're being beaten. They don't come here because their kids are in gangs. No. Now, what would you do if you found that you could immigrate to a country that you needed nothing? You don't even need an ID, just a backpack with underwear. And they will give you everything. Everything. And put you on Social Security, which we all loved. We loved finding that out. Yes, that was perfect. I loved finding out they were paying 130-year-old men, women, whoever, Social Security. Why does anybody, for one, that's not possible, but for two, why does anybody want to live that long? Are they that afraid of death? I'm not afraid of death. Dying is another problem. Don't want to do that alligator ate me shit. My mother sat down after cooking the family fried chicken meal. Everybody loved the fried chicken. And she sat down, and they did the prayer that they always did. And when they finished the prayer, people started, to help themselves. And they looked over at Geneva, my adopted mama, and she was gone. During the prayer, right after, she was gone. She was sitting there just fine, but she had gone to God. And I was sorry I didn't get to see her one more time. They were great people. It's if you can adopt, do so. There's a lot of people out there that don't want these kids, or if they do, they're a paycheck. Um, when I played my own attorney, finally after my first divorce, I only had one divorce. um, but it was, how come you don't want the money you gave him for college? You don't want alimony? You don't want child support? And I said, Your Honor, if I couldn't support my child, he would have the child. He's never paid and taken care of the child. I have. And I see no reason for him to have other than supervised visits because he's an ass. And she was like, You should become an attorney. I was like, Oh, no, no, no. That's really a dirty word. I give her credit. She approved everything I asked for, which was my name back to myself. And that was basically it. And it's like I told her, if I could take care of my son, I wouldn't take him. And no, was I ever going to let him see that child without supervision, period. Never. And by then, the child was almost 9. So, yeah, it'd been a long decade. So it's like, okay, that's done. Now I have grandchildren. I have a grown grandson who's also an Army veteran. My granddaughter has just turned 13. I don't know about you guys, but the hippies in my generation that I knew, none of us figured we were going to live that long. Our idea was to party, die, and leave a good-looking corpse. I mean, it was it was a hell of a plan. Of course, back then you could go to concerts, you could light your lighters, you could drink your beer, you could throw a joint around, whatever. I have some stories. I used to work as what was called T-shirt Brigade back in San Antonio. So the base would send people, but they were in the T-shirts of whatever band was playing. And we girls always slid ours, so they were. I so loved Van Halen. I still do. Eddie was the most amazing guitar player. That man would be 15 feet in the air from a jump, and he never missed a lick. I still miss Eddie. I was worried about Valerie for a while. Wolfgang is also his son. He's awesome. He and his father, and a few times before he went to God, also did some music. So he's another shout out. Hey guys. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in that. Yeah, because I have a story about that, but maybe in a different podcast. If somebody asks for it, I'll tell you. It's a pretty damn good story, though. Let's see. I can't think of too much else that I missed today. Well, you've got people signing peace treaties, not signing peace treaties. Somebody should be elevating Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Award. Did he do it for that? No, I don't think so. I don't think he helped these people make peace because he wanted an award. And if he did, he's probably pretty pissed. And old Donnie, when he's pissed, everybody knows. But do take to heart the fact that they took General Flynn and destroyed him. 4-star general. They made up everything they had against this 4-star general. The judges knew it was all made up. The judges knew he was guilty of nothing. He finally, on the very last day, had to accept a pardon from President Trump in his first term because they brought people out of retirement to keep this man going to court. He'd sold his house and everything. They ruined him. Old Comey, all 5 of him. He wouldn't understand what 8647 meant. Fuck, I've got a 5-year-old great-great-grandchild knows how to help. They're not here yet, but they'll come in going, oh, he means to kill the president. Then I hear this bitch, this racist bitch, and yes, please bring it on. Old Joy Reid. Oh, who the hell she was talking to? Asian woman on that podcast. Well, we can't verify he was really shot. One day he had this big bandage, and the next he's fine. There's just nothing there. It's not, he don't have a hole. Bitch, they sold that. What the fuck all? They're gonna say what? The fireman died from what? Heat stroke? Got scared to death? A fireman died that day, throwing himself over his kids and his wife. He took the bullets that would have taken them. This guy wasn't no joke. He did shoot Trump. And also, if you didn't notice, and I counted it, it was in 20 seconds, I'm sorry, 28 seconds later, you heard a thump. Problem solved. They're gonna try to tell me they didn't see this motherfucker up there. This son of a bitch brought a silver and red ladder to climb up to this roof. Are you gonna actually tell me that these guys are the Secret Service, the sheriff, the police, so forth and so on, and nobody noticed this clown on top of the roof? Oh yes, people did notice. I forgot it was civilians that were going, "Hey, that guy's got a long gun. Hey, that guy's got a gun. Hey, yeah, this guy's got a gun." Nobody did anything. And then when they did, and mind you, I don't know if this is a known secret, but the podiums and things are actually steel and stuff. That bunting isn't just cloth; it's steel. When he got hit and he pulled his hand, he knew to get down that they were trying to kill him. Secret Service didn't reach him in that 28 seconds, fellas. Look for yourself. Count them. They reached him after they took out the shooter. He saved his own life by getting down behind that metal. When they come up, I love it. He comes up, fight on, right? And blood running down his face. And I loved all the Secret Service. They all came up to about here. It's almost as if they stood him up and said, "Hey, you missed." I mean, God. Brendan, all of them. They all. I don't know why they keep treason on the books if they can't use it when people commit in your face treason on their fucking rights, okay? This wasn't no missing tag, as these bitches are saying on their podcast. This was an attempted assassination of a former president and a president who was running and did win. I worry, really, I do. I worry that they will try again. He's not stupid enough to do like John did and get in a car with the hoods down, into a convertible. They killed his brother Bobby in the back of a restaurant who thought he was completely safe because it had been vetted by his people. So you can't tell me that they didn't kill Jack and Bobby. And I know who killed Marilyn. I saw some photos of her autopsy. If you're trying to get away with somebody's put piss in your mouth, and what happens? You get what we call an Indian burn, complete redness. It was the first time I'd seen a photo of her in that respect. I haven't seen one since, but it showed me implicitly that Marilyn Monroe was murdered. They put the pills in her mouth and held her nose and mouth until you want to breathe, swallow, and she would swallow. I believe that emphatically. I won't say who I believe did it because it's another conspiracy story, but she was murdered. So was John F. Kennedy Jr. They waited 5 days to go look where that boy's flight plan said he was fucking going. That boy had done that flight a couple thousand times. He didn't decide, oh, look, the ocean and the stars have changed places. And yet they all bought it, didn't they? No, he was murdered. He was going to represent it. He was closing down George's magazine and had already stated he was going to represent it. A few days later, he's dead on the way to Martha's Vineyard. And again, he'd been flying since he was a kid. No, there's several things going on with that, too. Don't get me started about 9/11. That's a whole nother ball game. Maybe they do call me a conspiracist for a reason. Again, please, if you see me, which is amazing today, give me a like, give me a dislike. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Jump in the comments. Tell me you want to do something. I want to talk about anything and everything while we still can. In some ways, I don't think this is going to last much longer. I think if we're going to take advantage of it, if we're going to link minds, link souls, talk about the truth, talk about everything that they've denied us, like the whole thing underneath the Gaza place, the whole place under Gaza is a whole other thing. In the meantime, I'm going to get off because I probably bored you enough popping through everything that crossed my mind today. Trying to stay out of trouble. Don't do the smash and grab. They're kind of onto that now. I see my time is about up. Do something for your neighbor. Do something for your friend. Do something for yourself. Contact me. They love it when I get that stuff. But again, I digress. Go with God.